Well, good morning, you crazy, beautiful world. My name is Story Grub, and I wanted to come on and just draw for a minute. Before everything gets super crazy. I like to come on and draw for a while just to, I don't know, make sense of everything that just happened in my dreams. Why do you draw? Why don't you draw? Good morning. Good morning. We've got to be quiet. We don't want to wake anybody else. It is very quiet out here. I think I just heard my cat's fart. That's how quiet it is. Didn't even know farts could fart until today. Until this morning. Oh, that wasn't me. That was my cousin. His name's Lean. Lean Scabs. He's quite a scabby fellow. But we are related. But he comes from across the ponds. He was raised in all sorts of places. He has this weird, kind of strange accent. Little bit Australian, little bit South America, like USA, South American, not literally the continent South American. Doesn't speak a leak of Spanish. That one. Um, what else? The ski mask we have in common. Yeah. Everything else is just pure related coincidence, which I don't believe in. I don't believe in coincidence. If I did, well, that would be a trip. That would be so. It'd just be a big. That would be a coincidence. He has his own. He has his own playlist on my videos too. The band that never was, or something like that. The band that no one ever heard. Oh, that's right. It's called the most famous, or the silent band, or something like that. I don't know what it's called. But before I left Portland last year, I was filming him a lot, filming a lot of stuff. I found like a bunch of stuff that I filmed because I was just getting into character. Hello, God. It's been a while, God. But now I'm finding all these old clips I did with him, these weird little, like that one where I walk away with no pants. Which is funny because I ended up doing the same thing in my Fight Club parody. Of course, that's not much of a coincidence because it's the same brain. Trying to tell the same jokes over and over. There's only like 3 jokes in the world, just like there's like 7 stories. So what does that make us, you know? Redundant, repetitive, and human. Louis. I say hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Gory Stubb. I will be your artist for the day. Tune in, turn on, and drop out with me, your host, the story of grubs. And then maybe at the end of the show, you'd be a little grubbian too. Right? No? Okay. Whatever. You can go now. Whenever I see 16 people watching, I'm like, 10 seconds later, I always know it's going to be back down to like 2. It's always down to 2. Because people, as much as they say that they, publicly they'll say that they love to watch grass grow, people don't generally like to watch grass grow. People come for the art and they stay for the words. The beautiful words that slip out of my orifice. I think. That's what I'm guessing. Hello, Earthling. I don't know how to pronounce the person's name in front of you. It looks, phonetically speaking, or whatever it's looking, it looks like Aju. So I'm just going to call you Aju. But Earthling, thank you very much. Sometimes when people call themselves something so poignant, like as much as, yep, like you're calling yourself an Earthling, that leads me to believe that there's something else going on. Am I right? Am I right? No? Like it may be really not an Earthling, and you're just trying to draw attention from yourself. Who goes around saying, hello, I'm an Earthling, my name's Bob. No one does that. Or in this case, hello, my name's Dog, I'm an Earthling. I mean, a dog wouldn't even walk around saying it's human. What's going on there? In the cosmic span of things, that's just not computing in me, old brain. Feliz Domingo. When I was in the 2nd grade, I lived in a little teeny town in California called Calusa, and they were teaching us how to do Spanish, and I love Spanish, but I don't know how to speak it. I just know little bits, and I can pronounce it pretty good. I can roll my R's. Watch this. I think that's how they do it. So that's how you roll your R in Espanol. And then, how do you hold a D? I don't know how they do it, but somehow the Spanish-speaking folks of this great worldly nation called Earth of ours, Earthling, if you're still there, how do you hold a D? Because you can't go D, then it's just a quick D and an E. That's the weirdest thing about Ds, is that they're basically E's after the first second, It just doesn't make sense. And I think they planned it this way. So we would all hate each other because of our languages. Isn't that what the Tower of Babel is all about? Isn't that what the Tower of Babel is all about? Oh, shit. I'm breaking shit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All I know is that you're here, I'm here, and let's make some art. If you ever find yourself confused, creative, and out of control, you're probably an artist. You might want to sit down a moment, pick up a pen, get a piece of paper, look in the mirror, and start drawing. For crying out loud. It doesn't matter what you draw. It could be scribbles. Like it could literally just be this. And then you could just do this and go back and forth, and no one would even know the difference, would they? And then you just do this on the bottom. Then you got yourself kind of like a little jellyfish thing. Then you can draw little tentacles. Just going back and forth. Until the end of time. Don't forget to leave some gaps. Leave some little gaps in there. Because then you can come back through with something else like this. And add the gap in there. Fill the gap. Looks more like a nipple with legs, if you ask me. Huh? Hey, Gomez? No? Right, okay. I didn't mean to offend. I'm just trying to offend. It's very hard these days. You don't know who to trust. Most people don't even know how to spell the word trust. Because every goddamn thing loses a vowel these days. So to most people, it's just TRST. But that's another word, it's terst. Who are we to judge? Language is a beautiful thing, is it not? Thank you. I have been blessed by your presence. You are so beautiful, I can't even tell you. You are godly. You are of the gods. You know that, right? You beautiful, beautiful thing. I was once in love with somebody like you, a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. They made a movie about it. It's called War Stars. I just had a whole trilogy of War Stars in my head, and it was just off the wall, ridiculous. And I think it actually would make a funny movie, like more like Spaceballs than anything, but I just had to laugh for a second. It's either laugh or cry, right? Happy Sunday, everybody. I like to cry, though. I go to the ocean. Gomez, are you listening? I go to the ocean, Gomez. And I sit there and I listen to the water. And I'm not exactly sure what it's saying, but I understand deeply, more deeply than I'm guessing I think I might not guess that I don't do. Wait, what? Anyways, you understand. So, anyways, there I was by the ocean listening to her poetic and wily little ways, taking notes on my little journal as far as I could, without trying to impress my own opinion onto the subject matter. And then I got lost in a foggy haze of love, deception, and deceit. And it was a beautiful thing. And that was only Tuesday. Who would have thought? That being said, she said her words, I said mine. We both left. We felt fine. I wrote it down. It was a nice rhyme. All that sort of stuff. And then we got down to business. Talking about the business at hand. The hand business that we have. We make extra hands for people, so they can be more godlike, like a Shiva. Like a Lord Shiva. Who had several hands, like an octopus, like the thing I'm drawing right here. Hello, Passer. At work, driving from out west. Out west? Good God, mate. What? About to lose phones. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I'll wish you the best. Thank you, Passer. I will pray for you, my friend, right now. Lordy Lord of the underworld and above, listen to me now. Listen to me. I want some gold. And make sure that Passer gets where he's going safely and that his phone service doesn't cut out, because I need somebody that has my back while I'm drawing, and I don't have time to edit people's comments or answer questions. He's there to do that. I just need an assistant. Please send me one, Lord. Thank you very much. Amen. I hope that does the trick, friend. You deserve it. I love you. Now, don't pick up strangers like last time. I've seen those horrible movies. Terrifying. About the Outback. Now I've got an inkling that you know how to handle yourself. I'm just gonna touch on that while I take a taste of my coffee. So don't mind me just for 1 second here. I'm gonna sip now. Coughed it up a bit. Oh, that's not coffee. That was the wrong cup. There we go. Just a little armpit shadow, right where it belongs. In the armpit. There we go. What do you say, Ricky? I was having dreams last night that I don't want to talk about and I don't want to bring up, so don't bring anything up about my dreams, please. Thank you. They're very personal, and I don't want to talk about them. Well, my day's been, well, it's been a day. I've been up for an hour and a half. You know how that gets. slugging along, wishing you was somebody else, like Batman or something, maybe. Oh, Batty. I am a bit batshit crazy. I don't know if that counts. I think you would have to be a little batshit crazy to be a Batman. Maybe. Oh, batshit rich. Guano is quite expensive according to Ace Ventura Part 2, right? Especially the albino. How long do I draw per shitting? Per shit? That's quite personal. Tend to take my phone into the lavatory. What kind of question? What are you asking me? What are you asking, friend? Oh! That's because I can't read. I don't know what that says exactly. There's a niner in there somewhere. Oh, right. No, it's 6:30 here in California. Pacific time. Pacific time. And then Gomez shitting in my chair. I don't shit. Okay. Give me a break. Okay, where's the camera? How is it that he's seeing what I'm doing? Hey, Terry. Terry, can you turn on the cameras so I can see the monitors? Yes, right. There are no monitors. Sorry. You're all alone and nobody's there. What? Huh? You're all alone and nobody is there with you. What about? Yeah, but what about you? Over. You bloody hell! You can't do that. You can't leave. You can't leave like that. Now I am all alone. Oh God. Now I have to answer these questions on my own. Okay. I have to read. Here we go. Shit. How long do you draw? Oh gosh, this is embarrassing. Basically, until the drugs wear off, mate. It can be days, it can be weeks, mostly years. And that's why I have to get the right kind of chair. It's a big, fat, ugly one named Beth. Comes from a land of Sheba in the Middle East. It's the right kind of fabric for the right kind of ass, right? It's absolutely a lie. That was just a big lie, just so you know. It depends, but usually I think I can start feeling the pull of wanting to get off. Geez, wow, that whole thing was absolutely not what I meant to say, or how I meant to say it, anyways. About an hour. I'm just gonna say about an hour. That's when, especially out here, because I have to, you know, I love drawing live and stuff and whatnot, but my setup is very bad and it's hard. Just everything around me is like slipping and falling apart, like just teetering on the edge of utter destruction. And I'm sure there is a few lives where that actually has happened plenty of times, where like everything just comes crashing down. But I have to like bend my arm in a certain way to draw like this too, because I'm like drawing around the phone or the camera, that I'm using in whatever it is. But today it's my phone, because I can turn the Wi-Fi off and actually get a crisp image. That's odd. Like the Wi-Fi in my house sucks, so I have to turn it off in order to get at least this caliber of an image, which isn't that great anyways, but still. You get the idea. Plus, it's hard because I work so small, and I'd like to be. I've seen other people on here where I don't know how they have such a cool setup, but the camera's like way above them or something, but they have a monitor for the comments and all this maybe stuff. I don't know. Maybe even people helping them. I'm just frantically trying to do this when I have days off, and just like I have my whole life, trying to get my art out into the world. I ended up just calling it spare time and ambition. Drafted my drawing. How long have you been drawing? Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. And you're from Montana Soda? Is that what that means? Montana Soda. That's crazy. I ain't never been theirs. I've been drawing since I was a kid, since I can remember. Since I was drawing breath and understood what it meant to be alive, I've been a drawing fool, and I was this little singing fool before that. I always loved music too, just always singing. Um, what else did you ask? Oh no, I don't. And sometimes, no, to be honest, I don't. I'll have ideas for things in the drawing, or I'll come to a shape or something, like in here, for example. And sometimes, if I want to be really specific, I'll Google an image just to make sure I'm getting it right. But usually, I don't Google anything. I just kind of, I mean, you can see how big it is. It kind of just keeps going and going. It's like a poster-sized 19 by 24 inches paper, something. I'm trying to get it all the way to the edge, like it's gonna look like that part on the bottom there. It's gonna look like that all the way around. Sorry for the noise. Anyways, and how am I? Are you asking me how I am? I'm good. Every day is just, I don't know. Sometimes you always just feel like you're playing catch up. Always. It's like this never-ending thing. I guess that just comes with the territory. It's beat into us, to just have to always be on the go doing something. But it's also a strategy or a self-soothing thing your body does, oddly enough, when it gets stressed out, I guess. But I had crazy dreams last night, and then I woke up and I listened to a podcast from Third Eye Drops, Third Eye Drops. It's a really cool guy named Michael. Talks to all these cool esoteric people and Plutonian type people. I don't know if that's the right way of saying that, but they, Platonian, not Plutonian. So it's like the Platonic principles and things like that, and like Plato's Republic and all this. But there's also a lot of tie-ins with the esoteric, with all the stuff that's been happening with the UAPs recently. I was really, really, I mean, I still am, but I was very, very deeply invested into those hearings that happened a few years ago with Gorush or whatever, and those pilots. And I kind of lost hope about disclosure to a certain degree, because if a pilot says, like a Navy pilot, these guys have seen it all, like they know what they're looking at. And if they still don't even, if that isn't like just the most groundbreaking news of like all time, and people are still just going around here acting like everything's fucking TikTok and hose water and shit, I just don't understand humanity at all. And I had a huge lapse of interest in the world for a while, because I was thinking, if these guys and this dude coming up and saying all this, and them going to Congress and talking with these fucking senators that are all interested in it too, and they're talking about black budgets and how, if anything, they're talking about illegal activity that our fucking government does with like, like dark money and stuff like that, at the very least. But then you just never hear about it again, just like the Epstein shit. You never hear about it again, except for little clippets here and there. And it's just because the freaking media is tied in with all that kind of stuff too. I don't know where I got into this topic or how I got into this topic. Oh, esotericism, yeah. But no, I mean, there was a long time when I didn't believe in God, or I didn't know. It's not that I was an atheist. It was just that I just didn't see anything, if there was a God, it was just that everything around me or my life and everything I touch, it was just some big, cruel cosmic joke. So I just let it be like that. I just accepted my fate. And then something happened when I realized that, this was fairly recently, when I realized that the fate was in my hands, not in the God's hands, and that that's what free will meant. And to utterly be yourself is the most, it's the best gift that any God could ever give you, just to be yourself. And fight for that and stand by it and don't change because people tell you to, and don't hate people because they tell you to hate those people that you don't even know. And that the only thing you know about them is what these assholes tell you, you know? You have to go out and meet people and talk to people. And I think art is one of the best ways of doing that. Get to know somebody's soul. They put it right there in front of you. Just like songs and theater, self-expression is a very, very, very powerful drug. Anyways, I have family. No kids, never married. How does Peter Pan have kids, you know? Or get married? It's ridiculous. I stopped growing at like the age of 17 mentally. I just got older and I'm a little bit wiser. I'm just as stupid, naive still about the world. As Therma, my water heater, kicks on. Isn't that right, Therma? Yeah, you're so silly. She'll be knocking here in a little bit too. Telling her knock-knock jokes. North Oaks, Minnesota, MAGA, it's snowing, MAGA. Please don't promote politics on my channel. I appreciate your company, but MAGA ain't no friend of mine. They're trying to fucking destroy people like me. So, take that MAGA stuff somewhere else. Everything else you're saying is totally fine, but don't bring that here. Just like you'll never hear me talking about, you know, the other side either. Fuck the Democrats too. Fuck them all. They've fucked us all over for generations. And you're here preaching that? No. Here we don't stand up for bullies. We're not billboards for monsters. So definitely take that shit somewhere else. I believe in you. I don't believe in politicians. I think you and I could be best friends without all of that hogwash. If you met me, you would probably agree in person. So yeah, please don't. Not trying to be mean, and I don't think you were either. But no politics. Only time you'll ever hear me talking about it is talking shit about all of it. Never for one or the other. Never gonna believe that shit ever again. That they have our best interests in mind. Ever. That's my spiel. Take it or leave it. Hi, Luna. Good morning to you. It's okay. There's just something, you know. I'm a 45-year-old who recently just found out that I'm practically trans. So I'm going through a spell, and that shit, those people, I won't even call him by his fucking name and give him that power. But there's people that want to kill me because of the way I fucking dress out there right now. And so I take that shit rather personal. And that's when the other little version of story starts coming out and getting all heated. Because yeah, there's nothing to disagree with. They want me dead. And I'm still just on the fence with all of it. I'm not even like full blown like transitioning or taking pills or like hormones or anything like that. You know, but I do dress quite differently than I used to, and I dress in public like that too. and that's my business and nobody else's, and yet they want to pass laws against me fucking existing. So that's where I'm coming from, friend. And I think that I and others like me exists. We've always been here, so, and we'll always be here. And I'm on a bunch of gay dating sites. Not a bunch, like two. But you would be amazed at how many fucking conservative married men hit on my fucking ass. So I don't believe in anybody until I meet them, and I don't take anybody at their word. I take them at their action and who they follow blindly sometimes. And I'm like that with religion too. I don't understand how people can call themselves Christians and then, well, I can understand certain things. I was going to say, and then they want to destroy people because of just how they look or how what they eat or how they smell or some shit. But then I read the Bible, and the Old Testament is all about fucking God just destroying people because of all that shit. So I mean, it makes kind of sense, especially when people conflate Jesus with that same fucking God. So it doesn't, and it's like if you have read the Bible, there's like two books in one: the Old Testament and then the New Testament. They're two different, wholly different fucking gods, practically. And it's just the weirdest thing that people still are up in arms about it all and like fighting each other and killing each other and judging each other about these fucking gods that don't give a shit about you or me. And they've proven it over and over and over by destroying humanity over and over and over, instead of just teaching us and guiding us in the right ways. People still follow that shit, just like they do politicians who do the exact same thing. I think people crave that kind of, I guess, leadership. And then the people that stand up for themselves or that, show people that there's cracks in the ice are called crazy or told that they don't exist. Anyways, I'm talking in generalities. I'm not, I'm not trying to be rude. The first time I turned the news on, and I wasn't even turning it on. I was just hearing something that my aunt was watching. It's like one of the first priorities was like this fucking bathroom shit again. I just can't believe that that's people's priorities in this world right now. Like the way people look and dress, it's just like so crazy to me. When there's so many other horrible things and atrocities going on, those are like the big priorities of the day. Talking about gender. Who gives a fuck? Like, read a book. Holy fuck, dude. Like, that shit's been around for fucking millions of years. In way more different ways than it is now. Like, people just love their fucking labels, too. It's like, I can't stand labels. Everything has to be so cut and dry and black and white. Nothing can be, like, just the way it used to be or the way it should be, We should be feeding off of each other, not trying to eat each other. Just crazy. I know. But you know me, Luna. It's like I'm not a friend of the left either. I mean, the so-called left, and because they're just corporate fucking pigs too, and they ban books just like people on the right do. They banned my book. It was called Ban Books on the Left. It was a bestseller in the right wing world. Ban lefty books. It was a great book. But anything that people blame Trump supporters doing, people on the left do it too, but they just do it covertly. There's plenty of awful racists on the left, but they don't want to look like racists, so they act like it. But then you'll see those are the cracks I'm talking about. You'll see these cracks in these parties and even in communities or like at the grocery store. You'll see these things happen where they're pushed to a point, and then like the racism or the bigotry or whatever starts coming out, and the privilege or whatever, you know. Working in customer service, you know, you see that kind of shit all the time. They'll wait for it for people to leave the store, and then they'll rip you one because of, you know, obvious just like store stuff or whatever. Or they'll just assume because of the way I look that I am on their side, and they'll just come in and start being like, "Well, I'm moving to Canada." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You should have moved to Canada 8 years ago. I mean, or 10, or, I mean, 40 years ago, when corporations got the fucking right to vote. Where have you been? Everybody's just playing catch up now and blaming one guy for all of life's and world's fucking problems, you know? And I can't believe that people give him that much power. And that feeds his fucking ego, and that just fuels the fire even more. I'm just, again, talking in general. I'm not speaking about anything anybody here said. I'm just talking. Exactly. Yeah, because there's stuff on the right that they do that's kind of cool sometimes, and then there's stuff on the left that it's kind of cool sometimes. But even Obama said that when he was like in his first term, that if it was the 1980s, his policies and everything, financially speaking, like his economic policies would be considered Republican, like right wing. And those were his words. He was being interviewed, and that was everybody's like answer to hope and change. Like he just was trying to be a Republican, and he didn't stop. He added more wars to the list, and we ran out of bombs in Syria under Obama's watch, and Standing Rock happened under Obama, and he didn't do shit for those people. Nobody ever did. They let mercenaries attack people at Standing Rock, and nobody ever came to their defense, ever. And during freezing cold weather, there were these people, even police, were like hosing them down with like water cannons and stuff in the winter, and nothing ever happened. No finger was lifted that day. And these are people's heroes. Just kind of gross is all. Later, this guy. Have a good day, man. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not about sticking up for these people at the top. It's about looking out for the ones in the bottom. That's where change actually starts happening, when you start realizing that none of those folks have your best interest in mind, and that the only trickle-down effect that's happening is shit rolling downhill. And it's going to get much, much worse. Much, much worse. And a lot of people are preparing for it, and they're called crazy too. But I mean, we've already seen it, like I've said before, we've already seen a glimpse of how bad it could get during the COVID thing, when everything was confusing and nobody knew what to do. And it's like, no wonder people didn't want to wear masks, because it did seem like nobody knew what the hell was going on in the beginning. And then Fauci even went back saying like masks didn't do shit, when they were just trying to like make sure that, you know, hospital staffs around the country had enough before people just bombarded, you know, because they didn't have enough masks. He went back on what, you know, he said that those masks didn't do. So that there was a lot of confusion. And then there was like all these weird things like lack of toilet paper, and then cleaning supplies, and remember, people were making their own fucking alcohol and stuff. People would come into the pet store wearing fucking masks made of underwear. Like, it was like, sir, that's not a regulation mask. Take off the mask, sir. Is that your wife's underwear, sir? It's kind of lacy. Well, her name is Lacey. Good one, sir. Good one. Well, yeah, that's why that's why I got to Antarctica so fast, because it's just so easy to up and move to a different country or continent. Hello. Oh, I was just talking about the failures of politicians, and all of life's beliefs and structures, and all of the systems put in place that are against us and trying to tear us apart every day, while we watch ourselves on YouTube shorts destroying each other every day, all the time, because people tell us to hate each other, and then they turn around and say, "Why don't you all love each other? Stop hitting yourselves. Stop hitting yourselves." As they like pin us down to the ground with our own hand, hitting us in the face over and over. Society, so rad. It's just gonna be crazy too when technology stops working or something too. When some big outbreak happens. You know the weird thing about COVID that I was like thinking about? Because in the beginning I was hearing, oh, I bet somebody will be listening to this now. Like, you shouldn't be talking about COVID. I see that on channels sometimes when there's like a little synopsis from Wikipedia, like COVID was the blah blah blah, or COVID deniers or something like that. Because if you dare to even question anything, people are just like, oh my god. let alone like you're blacklisted from all these social media sites. Um, but it's not even that obviously I got COVID, so I believe in it. But um, it was just weird because in the beginning, I remember hearing like that there were just like, and no disrespect to it at all, but there was just like bodies piled up in mounds or something. And it's just weird to me that one photo or one leaked photo or something like that has never gotten out of that kind of stuff. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I've never seen it. And it's just how that was handled. how co- how everything was handled was, I mean, obviously Trump was in power too, so they didn't give a shit. But um, that was another example of how politicians just can fail you, all of them, and just lie to you as they get fat and rich in office. Unless your first name is Donor, they could really care less about you, unless it's every 4 years. Sunday funnies. Uh, I think about that stuff a lot, when I'm drawing. And it doesn't take much just to get my mind back on it. This is why I stopped, after Biden was elected, or right in like around, yeah, I guess March, I guess April maybe of 2022 or 1. That was around the time I got the job at Gamblin. So I got a new job back then, working in a warehouse. And then at the same time, because I got out of customer service by doing that, so that cut down a lot of the stress in my life. And then um, I also stopped paying attention to politics in 2021. So now it's just one of these things where every so often when somebody says something, or if I hear something in the news or whatever, and and nothing has changed, and it, from an outsider sort of point of view now, when I listen to what's happening around the world, I'm just not even surprised. And the way that the news is presented as well, like my aunt watches the news and like the nightly news kind of stuff, and the way it's presented is just very cinematic, and the graphics and the music and the repetition, and they don't even tell you anything. They'll just talk about something, or it's an opinion, and then they just move on to something else. And it's, or they'll say something to the effect of, and nobody knows what the answer is. Now to you, Judy. you know, or this guy said that, and this guy said that. Who knows what's going on? Back to you, Tim, with the sports. Who gives a shit about the sports, right, Tim? It's just, it's fucking comical. It's all it is entertainment. Might as well print the frickin' news on the toilet paper that we. I was trying to make a toilet paper joke. Anywho, yeah. I like this little thing. That was a happy little accident. I just think, yeah, it's not like I get out there and am singing, caroling out in front of people's houses. I'm not some big community organizer or anything. But it doesn't take a genius to know that everything starts locally, and it starts with you. When I say local, I mean it starts inside of you. And when you can open your heart to people that you disagree with in a way that allows you to sort of be like step in their shoes for a little bit. I'm not saying go ball dancing or anything like that in their shoes, but you know, see where they're coming from to an extent. You don't even have to talk to them, but just knowing this, kind of feeling this, will help you make sense of things. And then because of that empathy or whatever, that I think, I mean, it would take a while, but that will change things as well. Because then you'll start changing, and I don't know. I just think people are just so reactive these days to everything. I'm not innocent of that myself. It's just how it is, and everybody's desperate because, you know, working class people depend on their jobs to live. And most of the time, they're playing catch up as well, or everybody's in debt. Racism is a thing, but there's also debt slavery, which is a thing, which especially nowadays when rent is the price of life, of living. I mean, without they can just charge for a studio now. They can just charge whatever they want. I mean, so what happens to the people that used to, and there's never any conversation about those people that are just left behind, or they're just like, people just make them other humanly, or humanoids. They make them subhuman so they can just destroy them and put them down and take away their livelihoods. And then that way, when they're on the streets and they see them, they just look at them like they're animals and not like they're humans anymore, or like they are their neighbors, or they're them. So I think it's important to always remember that we are each other too. We're variations of each other, little fractals bouncing off each other like atoms, creating life everywhere we go. It's like when I walk around, I think I think your brain does this too. You just don't know it. It captures images like faces. When you're driving by somebody and you see their face like perfectly clear, but it's just like a snapshot, and it lasts for like 10 seconds. You can just see that face perfectly for like 10 seconds as you're driving down the road. And that's what your brain is doing, is capturing all these faces. And then at night, you get to find them in your dreams, recreate them, become them, willingly or unwillingly, I think. The next thing we got to do to create world peace is get a bunch of bananas, literally, and or two, and give one banana to every single gang member in the world. Because you can't fight with a banana in your hand, and that's a fact. You can't shoot a gun. You can't hold a banana in one hand and a gun in the other, and use that weapon. You would use the banana before, and you would more than likely die of laughing with your enemy than actually doing them any physical harm, except for dying of laughter. And that's a fact. Besides, potassium is good. Bananas are chock full of potassium and other vitamins that the body craves. Keeps your eyes from twitching, and it keeps a snitch from snitching. Harmless legal. There's harmless huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Luna. And I want to know more about these harmless legal nude beaches everywhere. It is so paranoid. Well, I remember when I moved to Portland at the end of 2020, and I would be walking home from work, out in the open air, and these like in this wonderful, beautiful neighborhood with all these trees and and the wind blowing and stuff. And this girl was walking towards me on the street, and she had her mask on outside, and I was like, "Whoa, she has her mask on outside." And I didn't, it was just because now that I'm thinking about it, I liked because sometimes when you wear a mask outside, it keeps your nose from running if it's cold, So the more I got used to masks, the more I understood them, like, oh, okay, I could wear it for this too, kind of thing. But at the time, it was just weird to me. But like as she was walking towards me, um, uh, I was because all I saw were her eyes, and she was looking at me, and I was like, oh shit, and should I? And then I like pulled my mask out and like put it on because I was just like so I didn't even know what to do. So I pulled my mask out and put it on, and when she passed, I took it off. Like, but it was like outside, and I don't know. I'm sure there are people that, because I think they were even saying, yeah, even wear it outside, wear masks outside, and but then there are people that say you don't have to wear them outside, and yeah, just a stupid, confusing time for everybody. In a time when people should have been coming together in the best of ways, it was just so ridiculously political, just like everything nowadays, which is why I tuned out. Because like Luna said, man, like you can protest, I mean, you can scream until your eyes pop out, or you can go home and change yourself, and you can figure out better ways to react to the world around you, because it's always going to be like this. It's always going to be. I mean, it's just going to, like I said, it's just going to get worse. Not in the way that, not even politically speaking. I mean, we're just going to start running the humanity within. I remember in 2000, I heard this thing on NPR that said by 2050, our world's population would be double. And it's 25 and shit. That's 25 years away. We're going to be running out of stuff, water and just basic foods and necessities. And then think about all the people that that are already coming from third world countries because of our shitty ass policies. And they're like us putting puppet dictators in, these banana republics all over the freaking world. But, or just coming here from natural disasters that are happening. Um, Looking for a better life. Um, and then think about that times double, or whatever. And it's just going to get harder and harder. That means the politicians got to work harder and harder to keep us all distracted by hating each other as much as possible. That way that way we don't think about the world around us or outside of our own borders and what's happening and what this country actually does all around the world in the name of freedom and capitalism and capital. Well, it's the same thing, I guess. All that shit. I I believe in people and the power that we have, not in the people that pit us against each other. And they fear us. They fear that power. Then that's why we're so divided. At a time in human history when we should be absolutely 1000% unified down down the line on the most basic things like humanity and compassion and making sure nobody goes hungry in a world, like this, where there's abundant food, like an abundance of food. Nobody should be going hungry. Um, but no, and there's a reason. There's a reason for this too, and everybody feels it. But sometimes it's easier just to get angry and follow the swath, or as I like to call it, follow the chuds. In a little song I wrote back in 1937, it's called "Follow the Chuds Back Down Where They Belong." Here it goes. Yeah, follow the chuds down below. Where they go, I don't know, but I'm following them down next week when Dr. Dre comes back with his song Kill It on the Mountain. Now, if everybody else remembers that one, they sure as heck gonna remember this. Well, my ukulele was out of tune. Luna said she was on the moon. People were asking me if I'm okay. Oh gosh, I just stubbed my toe, so I'm not today. I'm sad, because I can't play ukulele so well. That was disgusting. Lo siento. Lo siento. To my one Spanish word-speaking friends out there who know what that means. All right, let's get back on target. It's just after 7. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half packet of cigarettes, and my chickens' heads are falling off. My pets' heads are falling off. I found a bunch of Lean Scabs videos and stuff from Portland from around this time last year, so I'm gonna go through and make a bunch of shorts for them. And then hopefully they still fit. I think I'm a size 32 or 33 or something. The shorts. Oh, I mean like YouTube shorts. Because I think I was filming stuff. I was just getting ideas out as well. But I was filming things in with the idea that I might put it together as like some kind of like documentary. And then I realized, oh wait, people don't really watch things that are over 2 or 3 minutes on YouTube, if like the mass majority kind of stuff to get people's attention. So that's why I started doing shorts. And then they made shorts 3 minutes long recently, which is insane. Because had I been able to do 3-minute long shorts 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I could have done the Fight Club in like 10 episodes or something. But I want to get back to making videos and like little skits and stuff. I want to go out in public and do stuff. I just don't know what. And it's really hard to do things when you're by yourself. Like set up a camera and I don't even know. And it sucks too when you have so many stupid ideas that you can't even just narrow them down. Even when I put them in a book somewhere, I write it down and then I just put it in another big thing of books and I lose it. What's this world coming to? I like to sing. I like to draw. It's where the... See? Did you hear that? That was scat. I like to scat as well. I'm very scatty. Scatty bratty. They used to call me that when I lived back in Manchester. Back when I had a life. And a knife. Even though there was this bloke that said it wasn't. It was. It was. I used to have a lot of Australians watching me. And I think Passer's the only one that watches me anymore. I used to be very popular in the Australian outback. Not anymore. I don't know what I did, don't know what I said. But I do know what I did and what I said. And it was absolute rubbish. And so I got my boots on. And I went down to the outback. With my broom. And I swept. And I swept. And I swept until the outback was out front. And now the world has changed. Oh wait, that was Lord of the Rings. I was just starting to do the monologue to Lord of the Rings. Dang it! Not again. I'm convoluting my belief systems, everybody. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. I'm on the internet. I'm just the guy trying to draw a straight line and talk with an Australian out front accent. Shit, I lost it. All right, there we go. Did anybody ever see the shot that I just put out where I wasn't wearing any shorts? It was quite right. I have quite the right little skinny white legs. Sound like Forrest Gump right there. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Thank you for the nice words. Bye, Luna. Me too. I gotta go as well. But first, oh gosh. Well, it's Sunday. Oh, Sunday. Here in the morning. Sunday. Oh, Sunday. It's here again. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Sunday is quite cool. And if my mama told me that the next day after Saturday would be Sunday, I wouldn't believe her until she told me again next week. And then I woke up the next morning, it was actually Sunday again. All right, everybody. Okay, guitar. You take it easy now, you old buckaroo. And everybody else out there, if you're gonna be roadieing up some calibers, I suggest you go with the 37. The 37 is gonna give you more kickback with the flapjack than you could ever imagine. Trust me, I know this from experience. I know. And just so you know, this episode of Art Club is brought to you by Art Guard. That's right, Art Guard kills creativity dead, friends. Oh. Now an extra strength. All right, extra dead. Yeah, that's right. You take care now. I love you.